LSU quarterback Jayden Daniels was, simply put, the best player in all of college football in 2023.
That's what he does to the end zone for Lacey. Got it. Touchdown.
That likely won't be quite enough to make him the top overall pick in a strong draft class, but he is going to make some quarterback-needy team very happy. This episode of Top Prospects is presented by Robert Half. After spending 3 seasons at Arizona State as a starting quarterback, Daniels left for LSU after the 2021 season to become the Tigers starter for his final 2 years of eligibility. But it was Daniels' last season that he will be remembered for most, as he won the Heisman Trophy after throwing for 40 touchdowns with just 4 interceptions and rushing for over 1,000 yards more. Teams had no answer for Daniels as he posted a perfect 17 touchdown to 0 interception ratio when teams blitzed him, while matching that with a perfect 21 touchdown to 0 interception ratio when teams played zone coverage. And perhaps what stood out most for Daniels in 2023 was his demeanor under pressure, as his best moments from his Heisman Trophy season were frequently when LSU needed him the most in the fourth quarter of close games. With a skill set that is difficult to replicate, Daniels earned his way to being one of the best players in the entire 2024 NFL draft class. Let's take a deeper look at both facets of his dual threat game. All right, get ready for some fun because Jayden Daniels is the definition of fun on a football field. Florida fans, you might want to avert your eyes for a moment as Jayden Daniels ran for over 200 yards and threw for 350 plus more against the Gators in this game that we will begin our breakdown with. You see this play, and it's a little bit of a coverage opportunity here for Florida as Jayden Daniels pump fakes once, and you're thinking, all right, not throwing the football yet, and then next thing you know, he takes off. And watch this. It's hard to see from this angle. We'll give you an alternate one that will help do it better justice. But this seems like a relatively routine scramble. And then you watch the play unfold. He makes one defender miss with the cut. And then his eyes continuing to stay downfield. And then it's just off to the races. Again, when you see this from the end zone, you're going to see just how ridiculously absurd this scramble is. Plays that look like they should be nothing burgers for the offense turn into massive plays for Jayden Daniels. You got pressure bearing down on this side, a little bit of pressure eventually coming from the backside as well. Not quite as significant there, but Jayden Daniels steps up into the pocket. And one of the traits that Jayden Daniels, I think, has mastered that is so impressive is that when you are as athletic as Jayden Daniels, there is going to be the ability to step up into the pocket, but also sometimes having to know, when do I break the pocket, take off and run, versus when do I stand tall in the pocket and try to find that downfield throw, even intermediate game throw, because a quarterback who can thrive both as a runner and also from the pocket is borderline indefensible at the NFL level. This is an instance in when Jayden Daniels sees, all right, I've got an opportunity to make a play with my legs. He takes off and he runs. And again, this cut right here is just unfair. You got a Florida defender. I'm going to circle here, not quite into the picture as of yet, but watch it. Whoop. Next thing you know, he's off to the races. Jayden Daniels knows he is gone. Such a smooth-moving quarterback. While he did not run a 40 during the pre-draft process, I can guarantee you it would be extremely fast. All right, Texas A&M, another game in which Jayden Daniels was awesome this past season. And look at him eluding pressure, and you're thinking to yourself, all right, we've got him wrapped up. Go back to this here for a second. Texas A&M is probably thinking, all right, we've got Jayden Daniels corralled, right? Pressure from multiple spots here. You got this overload pressure here. You've got 3 guys coming from that offensive right side, including a rusher off the edge. Thinks he's probably got himself a sack forthcoming against Jayden Daniels. Next thing you know, Jayden Daniels, his back is turned from the play. The play is here. That is where the play is supposed to be going. Jayden Daniels has his back turned. Next thing you know, he once again takes off. This dual threat ability is so special. And look at him now. He's off to the races. Look at like the elasticity in Jayden Daniels, by the way. People have talked about how Jayden Daniels takes a ton of big hits. That is true. One thing, though, and that LSU will tell you about Jayden Daniels, he has this sort of like rubbery ability to handle big hits, and his body can withstand more than a quarterback of his stature would normally be able to do. So just this incredible ability to innovate on the run and find a way to turn a nothing play into a big play as a runner. Look at the elusiveness at the very end. I get it. He still gets tackled, but right there at that very end, kind of dodging a little bit of contact, I think is the kind of thing that Jayden Daniels has to continue to do a ton of at the NFL level, where defenders are only bigger, faster, and stronger. All right, more Jayden Daniels here. This is against Auburn, and once again, let's get back here to the pressure. Let's just look at the right tackle. Before the play, we got to highlight, because this is a theme for pretty much any college quarterback, is, you know, these pass rushers trying to get after you in a hurry. What do you see? Pressure bearing down. All right, quickly navigate the pocket. All right, so the first thing is, where do I have space and where am I going to step up to? So in Jayden Daniels' eyes, he's seeing to himself, all right, the right side of the pocket has parted like the Red Sea. Time for me to step up and make something happen as a player. And then here we go. Again, Auburn is probably thinking to themselves, you go look at these guys defended down the field. And LSU, for anybody that watches college football, they've got terrific receivers. This is the double-edged sword that Jayden Daniels creates for opposing defenses. Is Auburn's probably feeling great about the fact that they brought pressure and they've got coverage on these wide receivers. Not an easy task. Instead, what does Jayden Daniels do? He takes off, and once he takes off, slides at the very end. He knows he's got to protect that body, but plays on defense, and you've got a guy in a 3rd and 7 situation with pressure bearing down on him. You're thinking to yourself, we are one play away from getting off the field and getting Jayden Daniels back on the sideline. These kind of things are soul-crushing for a defense. You do everything right, and you can't account for the one thing that is Jayden Daniels' superpower. I hope you guys caught that slide at the end of the play, because Jayden Daniels does have that in his bag. All right, let's watch Jayden Daniels, the thrower, as well. I think the throwing from Jayden Daniels is nearly as impressive as the rushing from Jayden Daniels. We'll run this one clean here against Texas A&M, and look at the precision on this pass here. This is Brian Thomas Jr., who led FBS with 17 receiving touchdowns last season. If you look at the construction of this route and where Brian Thomas, his sort of landing point is actually kind of closer to the front pylon here as opposed to the back pylon. And watch where Jayden Daniels puts the football. When you're a quarterback and you're throwing this pass down here, the one thing that you are trying to do is you're saying to yourself, the only thing I can't do is put the football in a spot where this defender can make a play on the ball. So obviously you have a natural boundary of the sideline. That is, you can't throw it too far here, else you're in the stands. But also you can use the fact that if you throw the football fairly close to the sideline, an interception is unlikely. But that's a difficult needle to thread. Not too far, but far enough. And watch Jayden Daniels. We run this play right here. This football, Malik Neighbors, who would probably be a top 5 or top 10 pick overall. Just look at the body control, and also look at where this catch is made. You got 2 feet down, right there. There's no chance for an interception whatsoever. So the ball placement and the accuracy down the field for Jayden Daniels, a real strength of his game. Terrific completion percentage last year on throws of 20+ yards down the field. Look at how effortless that is as well. It's not a strain to him. You're just looking at the ball placement. Where is that defender going to make a play on the ball? Malik Neighbors sort of rotates his body and turns outside, has an opportunity to make a catch, and he does. It's a great catch as well, but part of it is because he has such a great throw from his quarterback, Jayden Daniels. All right, I just want you to see some sort of the effortless passing here again, and what I think is cool about this throw, and this is another big play from one of those 2-star wide receivers, Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. Bottom of your screen right here. Good luck covering number 11 and number 8 on the same play. But watch where Jayden Daniels is and how far he throws this football and where Malik Neighbors is when the ball is actually launched. All right, so the ball already out of the hand of Jayden Daniels. Run it one more time here, you'll see. Bam. All right, so the ball's already out of Jayden Daniels' hands. This is Malik Neighbors, and I'm probably a millisecond or two too late. Malik Neighbors' front foot, his right foot's on the 19-yard line. Jayden Daniels, of course, at the 48-yard line. Look at where Malik Neighbors catches this football. That's at like the beginning portion of the second half of the end zone. So the distance, 19 yards plus another 5. You're talking about a 24 to 25-yard race underneath the football for Malik Neighbors. Perfect placement. Jayden Daniels chucks that thing 53 or so yards in the air on a line for Malik Neighbors. His deep ball accuracy was so good last season. It helps when you have 2 great receivers, but I also believe so much of the success of Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. can be credited to the outstanding play of Jayden Daniels. Watch it here one more time, just some appreciation again. The pump fake first, which kind of pauses the safety to help Malik Neighbors get even more open. Just calm, beautiful stroke, right down the field. Malik Neighbors, another good catch. This guy's a star as well. Jayden Daniels, deep ball accuracy, so precise. When you can throw the football excellent down the field and you can run all over the yard, good luck trying to find a way to slow down Jayden Daniels. One thing is for sure when evaluating Jayden Daniels' outlook for the NFL draft. No player improved his stock more than he did from the start to the end of the 2023 season. And the minute a team brings Daniels into the fold as its franchise quarterback, it not only changes the way it's able to play offense, but also the way that opposing teams are able to play defense. It's a pick your poison dilemma trying to slow him down. With all that Daniels brings to the table, I believe he deserves to be a lock as a top 3 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. This episode of Top Prospects is presented by Robert Half. At Robert Half, we know talent.